The Steducentre Grade 7 A&A Exam Review English Home Language Part 3. Poetry. My Dog Lives on the Sofa by Ken Nesbitt. My dog lives on the sofa. That's where he wants to be. He likes to sit there night and day and watch what's on TV. He surfs the channels constantly by chewing the remote, then watches what he wants to watch. I never get a vote. He's fond of films with animals. He takes in nature shows. Whenever cat cartoons come on, he always watches those. He loves the pet commercials too, and anything with food. Whenever there's a tennis match, he nearly comes unglued. I got him from the dog pound. He didn't cost a cent. I asked them for a watchdog, but this isn't what I meant. If you look at the glossary, constantly means always, line 5. Commercials means advertisements, line 13. Unglued, line 16 is to come apart, and pound in line 17 would be the SPCA. Questions 29 to 35. Question 29. Identify the main idea of the poem. The poem is about a dog that A. sleeps in front of the television, B. loves watching television, C. loves sitting on the sofa, or D. sleeps on the sofa. Question 30. What is the tone of the poem? Is it A. sorrow, B. serious, C. humorous, or D. interesting? Question 31. Explain what the poet means by I asked them for a watchdog, but this isn't what I meant. Lines 19 and 20. Question 32. Identify the figure of speech in whatever cat cartoons come on in line 11. Question 33. Explain the above figure of speech. Question 34. The word surf can be used in a literal and figurative context. Explain both, the literal meaning as well as the figurative meaning. Question 35. Did the poet buy his dog? Quote a line from the poem to support your answer. Here are some poetry fundamentals. Let's look at some poetic techniques, like repetition, which is an echo of words or sounds. Alliteration, the repetition of the first letter in a string of words. Assonance, the repetition of vowel sounds in a string of words. A simile, a comparison between two things using words like or as. A metaphor, using an unlikely word for a comparison. Personification, attributing inanimate objects with human-like characteristics. An onomatopoeia, words that imitate sounds. Whenever you read a poem, always remember to smile. S for structure, M for meaning, I for imagery, L for language, and E for effect. The structure will include the form, rhyme, and rhythm. The meaning will include the storyline and the viewpoint. The imagery, including the senses, similes, metaphors, adjectives, and personification. The language will include word use and onomatopoeia, and the effect will include mood, emotion, and tone. Poetry is a form of writing that uses not only words but also form, patterns of sound, imagery, and figurative language to convey a message. Any poem will include some or all of these elements. The tone is the attitude of the speaker towards the subject of the poem. Are they happy, sad, depressed, intimate, aggressive? Note that the tone may change throughout the poem. The main idea of the poem is that it's about a dog who loves watching TV. Question 29, the answer is B. The tone of the poem is humorous. C for question 30. Question 31, we asked to explain what the poet means by I asked them for a watchdog, but this isn't what I meant. We see that the speaker wanted a dog to guard his home. Instead, he just watched TV. Question 32 requires us to identify the figure of speech in whenever cat cartoons come on in line 11. This is alliteration. Question 33 requires us to explain the figure of speech, alliteration, from question 32. The constant sound C is repeated. Question 34 The word surf in its literal meaning is to ride on waves, and in its figurative meaning is to surf the internet or swap through channels. In question 35, we need to work out whether the poet bought his dog, and we needed to have a line from the poem to support our answer. And the answer is no, because in the poem it says he didn't cost a cent. For questions 36 to 42, we have a poster that's been made. It's all about the 2013 Save the Rhino Annual Golf Day, and it is for the Rhino Orphanage. It states that you are cordially invited to join us for the annual Save the Rhino Golf Day. The cost is $2,600 per 4-ball, which includes 2 golf carts and a halfway lunch. All proceeds go to the Rhino Orphanage. The date, 6th of December 2013. The time, 9 o'clock for tee-off. The venue, the Legend Golf Course. Competition, 4-ball alliance, scramble drive, and 2 scores to courts, shotgun start. And you need to RSPV. Question 36. What is the post about? A. Running to save the rhino in 2013. Raising funds for the Rhino Orphanage. B. C. The price of tickets to take part. Or D. An invitation to play golf in Mokopane. Question 37. Identify the target audience of this poster. Question 38. Which organization will benefit from this event? Question 39. Describe the logo used in the poster. Question 40. How do you think the word orphanage will make a reader or a viewer feel? Question 41. What effect will this poster have on people who want to help save the rhino? Question 42. What does RSVP mean? Rhino Saving Volunteers Program. A. Please do not reply. B. Please call me. C. D. Reply please. The poster is about raising funds for the Rhino Orphanage. The target audience is animal lovers and those who play golf. The organization that will benefit from this event is the Rhino Orphanage. If you look at the logo that was used in the poster, it has the face of a rhino and a golf ball. The effect that this poster will have on people who want to save the rhino is that they will be, one, very happy they can help save the rhino, or they might be angry that the rhinos are being poached. And RSVP means reply please. The word orphanage will make people feel sad because rhinos have been killed by poachers. Question 43 is about the essay. You are given specific rules and you will need to go and follow them. Choose either the topic 14.1 or the picture 43.2 and write a narrative essay of 120 to 140 words, which is 3 to 4 paragraphs. You need to pay careful attention to the following. Give your essay a title. Plan and write your essay in the spaces provided. If you choose to write about the picture, there must be a clear link between your essay and the picture. The topics for 43.1 is: one day during break, you and a friend find a wooden box hidden under some leaves. The box has a lock on it and it seems very old. Write a story about what happened next. Here are some essay pre-writing tips. 1. Come up with original titles. 2. Conduct some research. 3. Carefully plan the paper. 4. Keep a journal with ideas. 5. Prepare a rough draft. 6. Make sure the paper is not messy. 7. Write the final draft. Here are some essay writing tips. Choose an interesting title. Design a detailed outline. Come up with a catchy introduction. Develop your body paragraphs. Finish the paper with a conclusion. Here are some more essay writing tips. 1. Planning. 2. Brainstorming. 3. Research. 4. Organizing and structuring. 5. Getting started with the writing. 6. Drafting. 7. Edit and polish. 8. Final check. 9. Feedback. To ensure that your essay is good, 1. Avoid alliteration, always. 2. Prepositions are not words to end sentences with. 3. Avoid cliches like the plague, they an old hat. 4. Unscrew ampersands and abbreviations, etc. Number 5. One should never generalize. 6. Comparisons are bad as cliches. Number 7. Be more or less specific. Number 8. Sentence fragments you should eliminate. Number 9. Exaggeration is 1,000,000,000 times worse than understatement. Number 10. Parenthetical remarks, however relevant, are unnecessary. And number 11. Who needs rhetorical questions? It is very important to know what your teacher will be looking at when they are marking an essay. They look at content and planning, language, style and editing, and structure. If you want to be exceptional, you need for your content and planning to have a thorough interpretation of the subject, interesting and imaginative ideas. There needs to be evidence of planning results in a very well constructed and appropriate presentation. When you look at your language and style and your editing, exceptional, critical language awareness, the correct use of language and punctuation, your style, tone, and register are highly appropriate. You are mainly error-free in your entire presentation. And your structure, there will be a variation in sentence types, logical connectors used between paragraphs which are coherent and well developed. Highly proficient essays should not be penalized for length. You want to avoid your essay being inadequate, where you have irrelevant content with no coherence, repetitive ideas, no evidence of planning, and very poor presentation. With your language style and editing, where you have no critical language awareness, very poor language use and use of punctuation, where your style, tone, and register is not appropriate, and your text is error-ridden and confuses the reader. And your structure, when you have seriously flawed paragraphing and your length is way too short. Thank you for watching the Steducentre, turning ordinary learners into extraordinary leaders.